Hello, welcome to Pilates. We'll wait about one more minute. See if anybody else wants to hop on with us this Monday night. It's Wednesday, sorry. Monday, I had my son popped my tire on my truck, so I had to go rescue him from the Culver's parking lot. It's exciting. Feels like Monday though, because today was the first day of in-person learning after Christmas break for my students. And again, I didn't teach on Monday, so it doesn't feel like the second time in the week like usual. So we're going to focus on fundamentals tonight for Pilates. So I want to start with just kind of talking about what Pilates is. Maybe you're new, you've never done it before. Maybe you have been working with me for a while. But Pilates is a method developed by a man named Joe Pilates. If you did not know that it was named after an actual dude, his name was Joe Pilates, Joseph Pilates. He was in Germany. He was a professional boxer, and then in World War I he was put into internment, and he kind of had developed his own kind of kinesthetic, calisthenic way of working out that moves the body in like one long succession of movements, and you can kind of put those different movements together. There's over 500 movements that he developed. And when he was in internment, he worked as an orderly in a hospital there in Germany, and he was helping the soldiers recover. So he was using some contraptions with springs to kind of, put a leg in traction and that kind of thing. And that's where if you see those machines, especially the machine called the Cadillac, where the stuff is kind of hanging over what looks like a bed, then that is kind of what he was developing, was helping those soldiers recover. Additionally, there was a large outbreak of influenza at the time, and the people that he was training with and working with did not get ill. Got ill, but did not die from influenza, and a lot were dying. So anyway, he then ended up moving to the United States and was living in New York City, and was able to work with some ballerinas in helping to rehab them from injuries and prevent injuries. So that's why you see some things like standing in the Pilates V, which is also the first position. So that's a little bit of background on what Pilates is. So let's get started talking about breathing. So Joe Pilates would have us focus on our breathing, making sure we're inhaling in through our nose and out through our mouth in order to fully oxygenate the blood, give us more energy, and really use the muscles that surround the rib cage. So I'm going to come all the way back here because I want to go ahead and stand in that Pilates V, your first position. I want you to bring your legs all the way together, rock back onto your heels, and open your toes wide. And if you can see, I've got a big sweater on at the moment, I'm a little chilled, but hopefully you can see there's no light coming from between my thighs. Everything is squeezed together nice and tight. And now we're going to draw ourselves up and back through the shoulders. So lift taller as though you want to kind of even just pull some weight up off of the feet. And then think about when you're standing for Pilates, we're going to think about a tripod. So we've got big toe, little toe, and heel, right? So a nice tripod. So you're going to try to pull that weight up, shoulders back and down. And again, let's start by inhaling nice and deep in through the nose. So inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, blow that air out through pursed lips, and 3. Again, inhale and exhale. If you want to put your hands on your rib cage, inhale and feel the fingers come apart, and exhale, blow that air out, feeling those fingers coming back together. Squeeze the legs tighter, engage the glutes as we inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale, 6, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, when we're thinking about breathing, we often think about inhaling to prepare and exhaling on the hardest part of the movement. I will tell you when to inhale and exhale all the way through class, but please just remember to breathe. So if there's part of you that's like, I'm holding my breath here, think about inhaling to prepare, exhaling on that hardest portion. All right, so we're still standing in that first position, and I want you to feel like you have wrapped those thighs out around your femur, and your legs are literally pointed out in the same direction as your toes. So knees are pointed, and I've got those thighs squeezed together, squeezing together the upper backs of the thighs, including the glutes. So those legs are nice and engaged, right? Now we're gonna talk about our powerhouse. So that's everything from the rib cage through the hips, all the way around. Joe Pilates would say that all of our movement initiates from our powerhouse. So even in reaching our arm long, we can feel it in the oblique, feel it in the abdominal. So we're actually going to reach our arms out, feeling that movement come up from the belly and out through the fingers. Shoulders back and down, reach long through the fingers. Are you still nice and tall? Pull the abs up and in like you're hiding your belly button behind your sternum. I'm going to come forward. We're going to do a little twist here. This is almost always how we start off. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3 small pulses. Inhale to center. Exhale, let's go the other way. And 1, 2, 3. I want you to squeeze those legs together and keep your hips forward. So I am only moving from the belly button up. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and look over that back shoulder each time. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze those legs in. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to that movement. 2, 3. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Now let's continue to warm up through those arms. So reach long again through the fingers. We're going to make small circles. I want them about the inside of a small saucepan, not a tiny saucepan, a small saucepan on either wall here. Squeeze those legs in. Inhale and exhale around 1. Now I want each circle to be a full breath here. 2. Inhale and exhale. 3. We often do about 6 reps of things, but not always. And 5. One more right here. And 6. Now let's reverse that. So inhale behind, exhale around and up. 6. 5. Inhale and exhale. 4. Inhale and exhale. 3. Inhale and exhale. 2 and 1. Now, if you'd like to, we're going to hold a giant beach ball over our head with our hands, and we're going to go ahead and just rise up onto our toes. So keep those heels together and come up and down. 6, 5, inhale and exhale. 4, inhale down, exhale up. 5 and 6. Good. Can you keep your arms there? Pull those shoulders back and down. Good. We're going to come all the way onto the toes, letting the heels come apart. Inhale and exhale all the way up. 6 and all the way up. 5. And 2 and 1. Excellent. Bring those arms out. If you can, keep them up. They're working. If you need to bring them down for a break, you can bring them right here. So shoulders are back and down, legs are wide, and we've got that pelvic bone kind of tucked under. We're going to come down and up. We're going to do 6, and I want you to get slightly deeper each time. Good. Halfway. 2 more, please. Inhaling, exhaling as you resist back up, and 1. Now, meet me at the bottom. Hold here. Shoulders back, arms up again. I want you to just pulse through the hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now let's alternate a lift. So right heel down, left heel down. Stay deep in those knees. Good. So this is part of that ballerina influence. Feel like a ballerina. And 6 and 6. Perfect. Down and up tall. Roll those shoulders. I'm almost warm enough to lose my sweater. Hopefully I don't look too crazy. So we're now going to be slightly wider than hip distance for a standing saw. Shoulders are back, arms are long, and you're going to pretend like your shoulders are afraid of your earlobes, right? They're running down your back and into your back hip pockets. Inhale, nice and deep. Exhale, I'm just going to reach my left arm across, right arm up. I think that's right for you if you're watching me. And belly button in, we're going to peel down. This arm rotates, so the palm is now behind me, and this pinky finger is aiming to the outside of the pinky toe. I'm looking up at that back hand. 1, 2, 3 small pulses. Use your abdominals. and stack yourself up. Reach both arms out. Let's go the other way. Inhale and exhale. Reach. 1, 2, 3. So we're warming up all the way through the thighs. Inhale and exhale. Hamstrings. 2, 3. Glutes. And using those abs all the way. And what about those arms? Are they starting to get a little sassy? Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Belly, 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 belly. Use those abdominals. Stack that spine. 1, 2, 3. An aim of Pilates is to move that spine every direction in which it can go. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, and 3. Step back up. And bring those arms down. Excellent, you're doing very well. We're gonna go ahead and come down to our mat for what we call our series of 5 or our ab series. And this is very, very traditional way to warm up. We're gonna start with something called the 100. And the 100 is actually a warm up for our warm up. Good, so I want you to meet me on the mat. Oh, I gotta move my camera, don't I? That's what I was coming up here for. Meet me on the mat. Whoops, that's not tight, so it doesn't want to stay where I put it. That's better. Okay, so come on down in whatever way you're most comfortable. I like to kind of come to the front, and you can either just do a really deep squat or a nice ballerina leg. So I'm going to bring one behind. Top of my foot is down onto the shin. Do it with grace. Do it with control. Tuck and roll back onto the mat. So for the 100 here, this is a way to warm up our abdominals, warm up that powerhouse. Shoulders are back and down, and I want you to reach your arms long. Just let them rest on the mat for now. We're really focusing on the fundamentals and the setup of each movement tonight. So if you've done Pilates for a long, long time, you're going to focus on really making those movements nice and precise. If you're brand new, just a great place to start. So go ahead and squeeze your small back into the mat. You're going to find that you might even have a little pelvic tilt in order to do so. If you're new to Pilates, keep your feet right here on the mat. If you're not new, you may want to bring them up into tabletop. And then a little bit farther out would be a little bit more challenging. That's a pretty moderate, intermediate exercise. And then even more advanced, you could lower and raise those legs as we count to 100. And because we're working on fundamentals tonight, I'm only going to count to 100. Often, I go to about 120, so you're welcome, just a warning. All right, so now we're going to focus on the top half of the body. I want you to bring that head long and feel that chin kind of tuck. I'm going to pretend to tuck a pencil under that chin, round up, keeping that pencil in place, and letting my eyes be trained right there on the belly button. Reach your arms longer, that will lift you up a little bit more, and squeeze your knees together. I'm going to bring those knees just a little bit farther away. Now we're in a nice shallow pool here, and we're going to pretend to splash the water with the entire underside of the arm, which means that the wrists are strong, not flappy. Ready to get counting? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the nose. Exhale, out through pursed lips. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2. Halfway, I'm going to extend my legs. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2. Reach a little longer through those fingers. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3. Last time. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Bring the head down, shins in, rock and roll side to side. All right, so that 100 is actually a warm-up for our warm-up. So our series of 5, or our ab series, is actually a warm-up for the rest of the class. Now the good news is that we work our abs all the way through class. The bad news is we work our abs all the way through Pilates class. So be really focused on that powerhouse. Again, imagine that every movement originates in that area between the rib cage and down through the hips all the way around. So we're going to start with our double bent leg stretch. Our knees are already tucked into position. Our hands just come right onto the shins and the legs squeeze together. Let's reach long through the head and neck again if you can and bring it on up. Looking again at your own belly button. I always say don't look at someone else's. That'd be weird. All right, no weirdness in Pilates. Tuck in as deep as you can go as we inhale. And then let's exhale, open out to the side and tuck those knees back in. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, tuck back in. Now, the straighter you take those legs and arms, the easier this will be. So if your head and neck are getting a little fatigued, just go straight up. If you've been in Pilates a long time, you're going to try to squeeze all the way out and in. Last time like that. And there's 6. Head down, tiny break. We're going to do the same double leg stretch, but with straight legs. So pay attention here. As we squeeze the legs together and straighten them up, you might find that your legs do not like to go straight. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't know that, right? So if you're new to Pilates, that is probably a truth that you are currently dealing with. Those legs need to be as straight as you can get them. Now, if you have any bend in that knee whatsoever, you're going to go ahead and place your hands behind your hamstrings on your thighs. If your legs are straight, you're going to be able to get them as far up as you want to. This is a great big stretch for the back side of the legs. Reach long through the head and neck. Pull the abs in, squeezing that belly button down like you're trying to make your belly button a nice hole all the way through the spine down into your mat. Squeeze everything up nice and tight. Feel that little stretch. Now, same thing. We're going to open as we inhale and exhale. Pull back around. 6. 5. Inhale. Exhale. 4. 3. 2. Squeeze the leg out from between those legs. And 1. Nice work. Head down. Tuck the knees in. Rock and roll just a little bit side to side. We're going to do those same 2 exercises one more time, but with one leg. So we've got our single leg bent leg stretch. So I've got the back leg pulled in. The back hand is right below the knee on the shin. The front hand is right above the shin, above the ankle on the shin as well. If you're new to Pilates, that other leg is going to start straight up. You can always keep your head and neck down, but we are going to try to bring it up if possible. Reach long again, tuck that pencil, round up, look at your belly button. We've got a double inhale here. So I'm going to pull that knee into the chest. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Now the farther out that opposite leg extends, inhale, exhale, switch, the more challenging this is. So you just take what works best for you today. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Focus for a moment on that small back. Are you engaging those abdominals to pull that belly button up and behind the sternum as you squeeze the small back into the mat? Who's counting? Let's probably make that last one. And in. Rock and roll. All right, we're going to do single straight leg stretch, right? So I'm going to take that back leg straight. Once again, if you have a bend in the knee, you're behind the hamstring. Reach long through the head and neck, tuck and round up, and then bring your hands as far up as you can, making those legs nice and straight. Now here, you might want to put your shoulders in your earlobes. Please don't do that. Pull them on down and away. Pull those abs in. Inhale, exhale, switch. Give it a nice big squeeze and switch. Now remember, stretching should feel good-ish. There should not be any burning pain or sharp pain. Inhale, exhale. Should feel like a stretch. You're going a little bit farther than you would go, if you were not stretching. And last time here. And tuck those knees in, rock and roll side to side. We're going a little slower, which sometimes makes it even harder. So now we're going to focus on our obliques. So that's from the rib cage to the hip, around the sides here. So that oblique muscle is actually what helps trim your waist, okay? So we like that nice, strong obliques. Let's bring those fingertips behind your ears here. Now we're not supporting the head. The fingertips are just resting on the head. The knees are tucked in here. I'm going to give a few different options. The first is to keep your head on the mat and tuck your back leg toward your front shoulder and then switch that. So if your head and neck are tired at this point, this is a great option for you. And then start to extend that other leg. You're going to feel this in your hips and your obliques. Good. So if you'd like to, we'll roll up here. And we're going to take that back shoulder to the front knee again and straighten the opposite leg straight up to the ceiling for now. Inhale and exhale. Now we are not leading with the elbow, but rather with the nice open shoulder. Good. So if you're ready to make this a little bit more challenging, we'll extend that leg long as we bring the shoulder up to the knee and the knee into the shoulder. And reach. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just a couple more. Belly in tighter. And done there. All right, head down. Let's go ahead and bring those legs down to the mat and extend our body long on the mat. I always can't stay in the middle of the mat, sorry. Adjust as you need to. Sort your clothing as you need to. Bring those arms overhead, and we're going to take a moment and let the rib cage pop off the mat, which is the opposite of what we've been doing, so this will feel like a nice good stretch. Try to create some space between your spine and the mat. Good. Now let's wiggle the fingers and toes to remind ourselves that we do not stop moving in Pilates. Good. So as you're stretching, you're getting farther and farther apart as though you were being pulled in both directions. Inhale. Right side only, please. Reach, reach, reach. Farther on the right side. Inhale to center. Exhale, please, on the left. And again, inhale to center. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. Inhale, opposite side. Reach, reach, reach. Center one more time. Everything as far away from each other as possible. Inhale and exhale. I'd like you to come up to seated. I'm going to go ahead and bend my knees, grab behind those thighs, round the spine, and come on up. Excellent. All right, so shoulders are back and down here. We're going to focus on articulating our spine one vertebra at a time. Again, a fundamental part of Pilates is the spine articulation as well as that powerhouse. So we're going to go into a roll down here. I want you to go ahead and keep your knees right where they're at and your feet in a comfortable position away from you. As you go down, you might find that your feet want to slide out or in. That's okay. Let them adjust and then keep them there to try it again. Shoulders are back and down. I'm going to go ahead and just reach those arms forward as though I were clapping. So thumbs are up, pinkies are down. So first start off tall. Shoulders are back and down. That spine is nice and straight. Can you pull yourself up even higher? The chest typically comes closer to the knees. Now we're going to tuck the chin and starting at the very top of the spine, one vertebra at a time, I am moving that away from my thighs, drawing the abs up and in. Are you going slow? Slow it down. Inhaling and exhaling. So now I'm kind of somewhere on the back side of my tailbone. I'm going to focus on letting the small back touch first, then the mid back, and then the shoulders, bringing the arms up and overhead. Let's go ahead and come up here, and I'm going to show the modified version first. So I'm actually going to grab behind those thighs to come up, just like we did the first time. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but right now I kind of have my back arched up. That's kind of a little bit natural for me. So I can kind of fit my whole arm in between the mat and my small back. That is not accurate. I'm going to pull those abs in. This gives me a little bit of a pelvic tilt toward the head. Squeeze the small back in. Reach long through the arms. Reach long through the head and neck. Tuck that pencil once again under the chin. Grab behind the thighs and round up. Nice and slow. Try to keep the feet on the mat. And tall we come. Good. I'm going to have you bring those feet out just a little bit farther. And we're going to roll down again. Shoulders back and down. Pull those abs in. Tuck that chin. Inhaling. Exhaling. Good. Keep breathing. Press your heels into the mat a little bit. Engage through the calves. Good. Small back first. Let each vertebra have its own moments with the mat. Good, ready to come back up? All right, we're gonna try and do it again. This time, let's keep the knees bent, but try not to have to hold on to them if we can. Also, trying not to use momentum. Sometimes we wanna karate chop the air to come up. All slow and controlled in Pilates. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze in. Can you do it without grabbing on? See what you got. Round the spine a little bit more. As you come up, shoulders back and down, breathing, inhaling and exhaling as you need to, and come tall. Excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and bring those legs all the way out here and flex them all the way in. Shoulders are back and down. We're coming back all the way down to the mat. So you can think about a banana peel. You could think about on a tank, the tracks on a tank or a crawler tractor. That's what you want to think about for your spine. So shoulders are back and down, reaching long, tuck the chin, engage the thighs. So I've got them nice and engaged as I'm anchoring them into the mat. You can even imagine from the hips down is in concrete. They cannot move those legs. Good. All right, slow it down. Stay in control. Do not let yourself just drop. And up we come again. So you've done two different versions so far. One where you have your knees bent and you grab on. The other where you don't grab on. This time we're going to keep those legs straight. And if you find that your legs have to come up while you're trying to get up, or you've got to use too much momentum with those arms, just go ahead and bend the knees again and choose one of those previous versions. Pull the abs in. I'm going to engage my glutes to squeeze the small back into the mat. Keep the legs anchored. Inhale, reach long. And exhale, up we come. Good. Squeeze that small back in before you lift the mid back off. Good. You got it. Engage. Inhale. And exhale. Let's stack tall here. And now let's do a forward fold. So we're going to move the spine in the opposite direction. Inhale. And exhale. Reach forward. Folding out over those thighs. Inhale. Pull yourself up tall. And let's exhale. Tuck the chin. Round the spine. Engage the legs. Anchor them into the mat. Good. Your eyes once again are kind of looking down at your own belly button and then eventually through the legs. How you doing? Slower does not mean easier, right? So today's class, even though it's a fundamental class, that doesn't make it easier. We're working on making sure we got things accurate. Pull those abs in again. Engage long through the fingers. Up we come. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep that small back pressed in as you peel up. Shoulders back and down. Rounded spine until you get right over the hips, then we'll straighten up tall. Good, belly button in, inhale, exhale, reach. Can you get a little bit farther this time? Reaching out past those toes, keeping those legs straight if at all possible. Let's straighten the spine, inhaling. And exhaling back down. This is your last one. Let's make it our slowest and most controlled yet. Good, slower. Engage those thighs, engage the glutes. One vertebra at a time. Make sure you're not cattywampus, right? You're nice and squared off. Get that small back down, then mid back, then shoulders and head. I'm going to make this one just slightly harder. I'm going to go ahead and point my toes and bring them a little bit wider than the mat. Got my mat rolled up there. Just a little bit different. Again, you're going to squeeze through the glutes. Feel the small back and reaching long through the fingers. Inhaling. Exhaling. Slow it down. I don't even have my shoulders off the mat yet. Come on. Slow it down. Small back presses into the mat before it comes up. Not even halfway. Come on. Inhale. Exhale. Keep those legs anchored. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's straighten out. Shoulders back. Super tall. Inhale and exhale. Reach long in between those legs. Can you get a little bit farther, please? Inhale and exhale. Let's stack each and every vertebra, one right on top of the other. Perfect. Roll those shoulders. Great time to grab a drink. We're almost exactly halfway done. And I show you my beautiful water bottle. It says Mrs. Hillard and has a bulldog on it. So nobody can steal it, right? I don't think there's any more Mrs. Hillards working at my school. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move ourselves into a side lying position. So for this position, our shoulder to our hip is lined up right along the back edge of the mat. And then to make ourselves a little bit more secure, we're going to bring our legs toward the front corner. So I'm going to position my hip toward the back. And again, bring the legs toward the front corner. Now, I don't want you up on your elbow like this, but you do have a couple of options. You can come down and have your head propped up, or you can extend that arm long and let your head rest on your shoulder. Now, that does not mean that the upper part of the body is not working. So you're just going to pick what works best for you. I always have my head up here because I'm watching. Usually I'm watching you, but you're not there, so I guess I'm watching me. All right, so shoulders are back and down. We're going to get this all accurate before we start to move the legs up and down, forward and back, some circles, lots of fun things. So this shoulder is open wide and it comes back and down while this hand comes in front, and it's our little tripod arm, right? It's going to help support us. So it's not resting against my hip or belly. It's right out here, nice and open. Now I want you to imagine, if you're a coffee drinker, you have a pot of coffee on your hip and a cup of coffee on your shoulder. I'm a tea drinker, so I'll imagine my tea kettle and a teacup here. So I'm going to try not to spill the beverage, right? So shoulders are back. Pull those abs in tight. You might even imagine a whisper of breath between you and the mat, right there at your abdominals. I'm going to flex the bottom foot and point the top foot nice and long. We're going to start with front backs. So that's all it is, right? Bring that leg all the way up, inhaling. And then flex the foot and exhale as you squeeze it behind. And your range of motion will be not as big toward the back because we're not letting that hip unstack or spill that coffee. Inhaling and flex to exhale. Squeeze behind. Point. Inhale and flex and exhale. Now, often my phone kicks me off about halfway through. I will see it. I will get us right back on. So if that does happen, go ahead and rejoin me as you can. Inhale all the way up and flex. So you're feeling some work right here in your hip flexor, right in the top of your hip. Last time here. Inhale and exhale. Keep that leg equidistant from the floor all the way through. Perfect. Now, I want you to stack the heel on top of the other leg. And I want you to reach that leg a little bit longer. This will help to stack the hips. We're going to point the foot, but the heels are together. Now we're going to bring that leg up, flex the foot, and squeeze down. Now let's think about zipping up those thighs, top to bottom. And then at the bottom, I want you to look at your feet. You should make a nice L with your feet. Point the toe, inhale, and flex and exhale. So we're keeping that leg nice and straight all the way up and all the way down, but please don't lock the leg. This leg is engaged as well. Flexing the foot can help to remind you of that. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You feel it in your glutey booty. Yes, let's go again. Inhaling up and flex and exhale back down. Good. Slow it down a little bit. That was a little fast for me. Inhaling up and flex to exhale to squeeze back down. Zip that zipper. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all the way down. Excellent. Point the toe and bring that leg just a little bit higher than your hip. Maybe about equal distance, equal with your shoulder here. Now we're going to draw some circles. So inhale forward and exhale around and up. 6, 5. Find those abdominals really working. Inhale and exhale. 3. Whisper of breath between your abs and the mat. And one more this direction. Pause at the top and let's reverse it again. 1 full breath per circle. Inhaling and then exhaling to the front. Inhaling to the bottom. Exhaling around and up. 2. 3. Inhale and exhale. 4. 5. And and 6. Good. Go ahead and place that foot down. We're going to do a move called hot potato, and it's one that we have to, I don't know why I said potato. I don't say potato. Hot potato. Hot potato. But we've done it a couple of times, but not too many. So this is one that might be new to you, even if you've done Pilates before. So we're going to reach that leg long, and in the front of our foot, we're going to tap the toe down, barely making contact with the floor 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now straight up and behind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight up. 9 this time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Behind. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8. Up to the top. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Breathe. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Tall. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Again. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You got the hang of it. Back. 4, 3, 2. On to 3. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2. Up. 1, 2. Up. Stay with me. 1. Up. 1. Up. Front. Back. Front. Back. Breathe. Front. Back. One more. Front. Back. And done. Bring this knee bent and in front of you. And you can tap at your hip. And this is something we do often in class. And it's something that's kind of personal, right? You are going to find a specific place where it feels good to kind of beat around on that hip and release a little bit of tension. I typically have had some SI joint issues, which is this joint right back in here. So I like to kind of find the meat and push around back there a little bit. Inhale and exhale. Excellent job. We're going to transition to the back side, the other side, while we come onto our face here. So we're going to work through our glutes, our back side of our body. We're going to do what we call transitional heel beats. So I want you to go ahead and stack your forearms, one right on top of the other, and then let your forehead rest right there in those forearms. I don't want you to close your eyes and fall asleep. So let's extend long through those legs, and then open the toes away from one another, heels together, and you'll immediately find those glutes are firing. Reaching longer, that lifts them up a little bit more, and we're going to squeeze those heels together. So squeeze, heels together, zipping up through the thighs, and open. Inhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Good. So literally feel the heels squeeze together all the way up into your adductors, those muscles on your inner thighs. Inhale and exhale. 5, belly tighter, and 6. Good. Now, reach a little bit longer. Bring those legs a little bit higher, and we're going to tap the heels together 10 times. Inhale and exhale. 10. Inhale, exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Don't let them rest yet. Reach a little bit longer. Bend the knees. Heels come together. Good. It's kind of like a reverse frog leg. We're going to press the heels together, and they're going to lift straight up toward the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Squeeze up. 6. Inhale and exhale. 5, 4. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Last time. And 1. Now all you should have to do is flip right over to the other side and get set up for the second half of our sideline series. I'm not going to make you look at my back side, so you might want to flip all the way around. So hip to shoulder lined up toward that back edge of the mat. Legs coming right at an angle toward the front corner. Shoulder comes back and down. Engage through those abs. Create just a little whisper of breath between you and the mat. Flex the bottom foot. Point the top foot and reach it a little bit longer to stack the hips. Again, we imagine that coffee pot, coffee cup, teapot, teacup, whatever it is you want to imagine. Don't let it spill. Point the toe. We're coming forward first as we inhale and flex and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 4, stay in control. Keep that leg the same distance from the floor all the way through. Good, you've got just one more. Don't let the hips come unstacked. Perfect. Point the toe, stack the heel on top of the other heel. Remember, we're coming up and this hip is kind of open. The thigh is trying to point up toward the ceiling. Shoulders back, inhale up. Flex the foot and squeeze it down, making a beautiful L with the feet at the bottom. Inhale and exhale, belly button in tighter, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all the way in. Inhale and exhale. I want you to use those really deep muscles, ones you use to control yourself when you're using the restroom. Are you breathing? 2 more, please. Inhale and exhale. So you should feel kind of graceful here. And 6, perfect. Reach that toe long. Bring yourself a little bit higher than the hip, right at shoulder level to draw those circles. Inhale forward and exhale around and up. 6, 5, 4. Engage that bottom leg. 3, 2, and 1. Opposite direction. Inhale behind, exhale around and up. 6, 5, and 4. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down. Ready for hot potato. All right, shoulders are back. Get the hips stacked. We'll bring it up to the front and tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straight up and behind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like this one. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, up. Good. So think about scissoring those legs. 8, back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Using those deep inner thigh muscles. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. Behind. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. In front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, up. 1, 2. Stay with me. 1, up. 1, up. 1, up. Good. Breathe. 5. Last time. 6 and 6. Excellent. Bring that knee over. Tap out the hip. I was getting a little Charlie horse in the toes from all the pointing. Hopefully you were doing okay, better than me. So again, find that spot where it feels best for you. There's a little bit of pressure. You might rub the hip. We're just trying to release the hip before we move on. 2 and 1. All right, so we're going to come onto our backs here and do some shoulder bridging. So I've got the feet planted. And I'm going to just round down. Shoulders are back and down. You could have just switched right over, or you could come to seated there. Rounding down nice and slow. You could hold on if you need to, but make it slow and controlled. Sort your pants when you get to the bottom. I feel like I do that every time I move. All right, so we're going to focus now on moving the spine up from the floor. We're going to use our deep pelvic floor muscles, our gluteals, and our hip flexors, as well as those adductors and abductors. Before we even come up today, we're going to focus on what we call knee pressure. So you're going to need to bring your head up for this part, even though we don't typically lift our head during a shoulder bridge. But we had a lot of time to let the neck rest. So reach up, kind of round up, and look between your legs. We're going to reach those hands between the legs, and I want you to press out with the hands while you're pressing in with the thighs. So inhale and exhale, squeeze. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, release. And exhale, squeeze. 1, 2, 3. Again, inhale and exhale, squeeze. Good. Don't let your hands touch. and release. Come back down. Now that is what I want you to feel without your hands being there. I want you to feel those knees engaging, but not actually touching. So I often describe it as though they're being magnetically drawn together, but they don't ever actually touch. So they're kind of in that tension trying to come together. So that's what the legs do. We're going to squeeze through the small back. So draw the abs up and in as though once again you are trying to hide your belly button behind your sternum. And this will give us a nice pelvic tilt. So you can pretend like you've got a string on that pubic bone and you're pulling it up. So now the pubic bone is kind of facing your head. Arms come right next to you. Open the shoulders, pressing the triceps down into the mat. So everything's feeling pretty well engaged already. Hamstrings, glutes, triceps, reaching long through the fingers. Make sure your head and neck are relaxed. You don't have them too tucked or reaching up so you're looking behind. Pull those abs in, and now one vertebra at a time presses down into the mat and then lifts up off of the mat. So we're in a nice straight line from the knees to the shoulders. Good. Shoulders are back and down. We're going to be up here for a little bit, so get comfy. All right. Now we're squeezing down into the heels and the glutes. Now, feel those legs like they're kind of being drawn together but aren't going to quite touch. There you go. Inhale and exhale. Now, we're going to just lift our hips up and down, letting the small back touch, not the tailbone. So inhale, keep that pelvic tilt, roll down small back, press all the way up. 1. Inhale, press that small back and press through the hips. 2. Are you using your heels? How about your arms? You can use a little bit of work there as well. 2 more, please. Round down, small back, not tailbone, and up. And last time, down, back up. Good. Stay right here. We're going to focus on each hip for a moment. Good. I'm still got that little Charlie horse in my toes. I'm trying to work it out a little bit. So I'm going to lift my toes to try to give a little relief there. All right. You don't have to do that. Squeeze up through the right hip. 6. And again. 5. So you're firing that hamstring and glute to reach that hip up and over. And 3. Inhale. And exhale. 2. And 1. Let's try the other side. Squeeze up and over. 6. 5. Abs tighter. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Reach those hips up a little higher. Walk your feet in and come onto your toes. And real quick, we're going to open and close those legs 6 times, then peel down and be done with our bridging. So I want you to open and close. 6. I'm going to let the knees touch this time. 5. Inhale and exhale. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Lift up, peel down slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. Good. So you are super in control here. Keep your heels off if you can until you're all the way down. Right before you let your hips touch, give me a 2nd or 3rd or 4th breath. Inhale and exhale. Release. Good. Let's take a moment and stretch the hips just a little bit in a little figure 4 stretch. We're not done, but we're not going to return to our back. So we're going to take this moment here. You're reaching behind one thigh while the other leg is crossed over it, so that if you straighten that leg, this looks like an upside down triangular figure 4. Now I'm going to go a little bit side to side. You don't have to. Just find what feels good for you. Roll the ankle if you would like it. And then we'll switch legs here. So inhale a little bit deeper and exhale, let's release. I like to even open up my thigh here with my elbow. Good, just draw it in, find that stretch, roll the ankle a few times if you want. Did you hear mine crack? Good. And then a little side to side. And we are going to finish class with some planking and push-ups, which is kind of a typical rundown of a class that we've done today, really sticking to some fundamental movements. Rock on up to seated, and we're going to come into our plank position. So in my class, I typically tell you that your first plank is your plank, and then you got to do my plank. So if this were your final exam in planking, what position could you hold the longest and the most accurately if I were coming around to grade you. If we were in person, I actually literally get up and physically come and watch you and talk about what we can cue verbally to make that better. So listen to my cues, and you're going to do a self-check when you get into your favorite plank position. So for me, my favorite plank position is hands and toes. You might go on your knees. If you do, either bend your knees in or even cross the ankles to get the weight off of your kneecaps. You might prefer your elbows. That works just great. Sometimes I have a wrist issue and I go on my elbows instead. And then you're going to hold that plank the best you can. If you have never done a plank before, you might need to start in a nice supported plank position. So I've got the hands right under the shoulders. So pick your poison here and let's talk all the way through, once we're up, what that should look like. Now again, your body is a plank, right? So should my head come up and then my hips and then my belly? Nope, everything comes up as one. So in order to accomplish that, pull those shoulders back and down, no matter where they are. And I'm going to engage all the way through my legs. Can you see some space between my thighs and the mat? Pull those abs in tight. Inhale, get the neck aligned, and exhale, squeeze yourself up all at once. There you go. All right, so let's talk about from head to toe what we should look like. So I'm looking about 18 to 24 inches ahead of my mat when I'm up here on my hands. If I were on my elbows, I'd be looking a little more straight down between the hands. Now onto the shoulders. I want you to really find them coming out to the outside of the rib cage. This will help you to engage the abdominals even more. And pulling the abs in, what does that do? Works on the glutes, hamstrings, and quadriceps. Now, if you want, you can move a little forward and a little back. Good, we've got one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Now, slowly and with control, we will lower ourselves back down. Inhaling and exhaling. Did everything come down at once? If you're a woman, typically your chest would touch a little bit before your belly and your hips. If you're not, then it might feel a little bit different. But we're going to try to do that again. But this time it's my plank. So for this next plank, we're actually going to come up and then tap each shoulder. So if that was on your toes and that was a little challenging, you may want to go ahead and do this next one on your knees. And then we've got a round of push-ups, and then we'll wrap this sucker up, all right? So shoulders are back and down. I'm going to once again engage through the legs, head and neck long. So I'm actually like I could just put my nose right down on the mat, looking straight down to keep that head and neck aligned. I'm not up and I'm not too tight. Inhale. Exhale. Engage. Use those abs. Come on up. All right, so here is a challenge because I could really just kind of rock side to side, tap those shoulders, get those hips up. We're not going to do that. So everything is accurate. Everything is tight. And we're going to try to rock as little as possible. Can you tap each shoulder 3 times? So, square, tap. Square the body, tap. Your legs might need to be a little bit wider. And tap. That's 2, 3, and 3. How'd you do? All right, let's lower down slowly. Good. Now, I want you to tuck your elbows right in next to your body for our Pilates push-ups. I'm going to start and end. Actually, I'm going to do them all on my knees instead of my toes. That's a little bit less challenging. But for good form, because we're using our triceps instead of our pectorals for these push-ups, we often go on our knees instead. So pull the abs in tight, engage through the glutes, head and neck long, bring yourself up into that top plank position. Now, pay attention with me. I want you to rotate your elbow pits forward. Very technical term. I use it all the time. We've got elbow pits, we've got knee pits. Elbow pits are forward. Shoulders are back and down. As we come down, we're going to barely touch the chest, not the nose, and push back up. No rest at the bottom, team. There's 8. Ready? Let's finish. And 7. Belly tighter. 6. Squeeze the glutes and thighs. 5. 4. Shoulders backer. 3. Arms are right next to the rib cage. Feel them glide along the rib cage. Last time. And that's it. Yay! Bring the hips back over the heels. Let those arms extend out for a moment here. A little clamshell stretch, as we call this. Breathe. Just a couple of breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Drag your hands back behind you and flip the palms up. Let your head relax down. 2 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Let those breaths get longer as we let that heart rate return to normal. Inhale last time. And exhale. Great. Bring your hands out in front again and bring yourself onto all fours. Shoulders are back and down. I want you to take your front leg and bring it to the outside of your front hand. Inhale. I'm going to rock back a little bit, use a little bit of momentum and get that knee all the way out. So my elbow is kind of on the inside of my shin there. Good. Now I'm going to pop the back knee off into a nice long runner's lunge, pressing back through the heel and up through the knee pit. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Press that knee down. I'm going to push just a little bit forward here to stretch this hip flexor in the back. And if your knee is not comfortable in the front, forgo that movement. Forgo any movement that's not too comfortable, all right? Inhale and exhale. Come to the outside on the other side. And then pop the back knee off. Squeeze back through the back heel. I'm going to kind of slide a little farther, pressing up through that back knee pit. Open through the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, knee down. Push a little forward if that feels okay for you. Now one side might have felt okay and the other side said no thanks. And that's okay too. You listen to your body doing what is only available to you today. Bring that knee back. We're going to go into what we call an elephant stretch next. And this is a typical kind of wind down series that I might do. So I'm going to tuck the toes under and round my spine. So belly is super tight as though there were a belly line coming right from my belly button through the spine up to the ceiling. Now I'm going to hover my knees. So the weight is now on my toes. Now, keeping the weight forward and spine rounded, heels off, I'm going to straighten the legs. Now my head is looking back between the legs. And those shoulders are rounded. Pull the belly button in tight. Now we're going to straighten the legs still, pressing back through the heels into a pike stretch. And let's bend one leg and then the other. Perfect. And press back. Let your head relax there. One more time. Straighten those legs. And then walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands and stay upside down momentarily for me. Good. So I want you to try to really get a nice forward fold or get those hands as close to the mat as you can. Straighten your legs as much as possible. Grab behind the calves, give a little squeeze. Now let your hands relax next to your pinky toes and draw little circles over your toes and out to the outside of your mat. And let's reverse those, inhaling and exhaling. Perfect. Grab your elbows here for a little genie arm. Shake your head, yes. I like Pilates. Shake your head, no. I won't be too intimidated to try it next week. Shake your head, yes. I will feel good tomorrow. Shake your head, no. I will not be too sore. All right, reach those arms down one more time. Pull your belly in tight. And we're going to stack the spine up, one vertebra right on top of the other. Good. Make sure your knees are not locked and back, but they're soft. Your hips will come slightly forward as you're stacking one vertebra right on top of the other. Use your abdominals like you've been scooped out with a giant ice cream scoop. Round, round, round. Shoulders back. Neck and head come up last. Good. Come back into that Pilates V. We'll finish here standing. I'm going to try and get far enough back that I don't have to adjust the camera. There's the wall. Shoulders back. Give me a nice big knee bend and reach up. Bring those arms down. Let's do it again, even deeper. I'm going to actually lift the heels and reach up and down. This time, keep the heels down. Bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. Stay at the top with me. Reach those fingertips nice and long away from one another. Can you see they're that way? Good. Reach taller. Open a little bit to the back. Open a little bit to the front. And tall again. Reach all the way up. I'm going to come on to my toes here. And And now with the fingertips away from one another, we're going to bring them down, trying to balance on those toes. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling a little bit of resistance. Feeling the shoulder blades moving down the rib cage and toward the spine. Reach, inhale, and exhale, 3. Inhale and exhale, 2. Last time, inhale and exhale, 1. Excellent job. Thank you so much for joining me. This is our first class of the new year. So thanks for joining. Hopefully you learned something new, got your precision a little bit better on those moves for Pilates tonight. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.